Stop blaming the millennials, my fellow old people. Stop blaming them for things that they have no control over. I've got news for you. The trouble that the millennials go through have been in the brew for generations now. I want you to think back to like Ronald Reagan. When he was a senator, he gave no-fault divorce for his state while keeping alimony. Ronald Reagan saw that the marriage rates were dropping and tried to bribe women into marriage at the expense of men. He didn't tell them to get back in the kitchen. He did what all guys do. They sacrifice other men for the girls. Now, Ronald Reagan, what was his generation? Not only was he not a millennial or us Gen Xers, he wasn't even a boomer. He wasn't those hippie boomers. He was whatever it was came before, the greatest generation or even the silent generation. He's one of those Marlboro smoking, cowboy hat wearing guys. So if they are female pandering at the expense of men, what makes you think that the rest of us are any better? And look at the boomers. They were all about free love and communing to nature. That didn't last. They got right on it when their old age. They said, oh, we don't want to live like this. I mean, you talk about look, here in Canada, I would go to Tim Hortons. That's our, big coffee house. And I would see these elderly guys crawling out of a 3/4 ton truck. And that 3/4 ton truck would have a pristine liner. The only thing that truck hauls, that 5-liter engine or whatever it might be, is that old man's crumpled up corpse of a body. Now these old guys, are they thinking, maybe I should downsize to a smaller vehicle and maybe save the gas as precious as it is for the next generation? No, they just say, look, I don't care if I'm obviously an old decrepit corpse. I just want to feel like a big man, so I'm driving a big vehicle. And by the way, I don't know what's wrong with us when we get older, but we guys turn to shit when we get driving. And these guys can barely drive a scooter, and they're in one of these boathouses that they're trying to maneuver. That's a whole other gripe right there. But that just shows you that most people, the older generations, they don't really consider the younger generations. Now, what's been going on, the metaphor here is like if there's a brick wall 100 yards away, and each generation has taken its turn sprinting 30 yards closer to it. So, of course, by the millennials' turn, they're smashing right into it. And every other generation before them said, wow, that's stupid. And what's wrong with these people? Even though we ran towards it too. So, what's been going on with the millennials, I mean, it's gotten worse every generation. No, none of not my generation, not the boomers, not the other ones before that, put any brakes on the stuff that's been going on. Every generation sacrificed more from men to the opposite sex, to the girls. And none of the men actually got together and collectively did anything worthwhile because it's not in their nature. Solidarity isn't in men's nature, not for our sex anyway. We have to learn, just like we can't fly, so we learn aerodynamics and learn how to make planes. That's how we got into the air. Same with protecting ourselves and making the place better. We have to learn to have solidarity as a gender. So we'll back each other. That's how we do it. And I'm fed up with my fellow old person blaming these young guys for something that we've done, that we were a part of. So I hope if you millennials hear this, you'll appreciate what I'm trying to say. thinking about the next generation is just glib lip service. But now, I mean, we really should. Things are getting so bad, I don't think guys can get away with not thinking about the future, future generations. I'd like this to be longer, but I think that's really all that needs to be said. I'm talking to you older guys now, like, back off. Stop blaming the millennials for things that they just have to deal with the current atmosphere. They didn't conjure Me Too. That was working all along from Reagan's time. Thank you, gentlemen. Bye-bye.